Walking down these empty streets, echoes of the past I meet. Lost and wandering for so long, searching for where I belong. Sunrise breaking through the night, guiding me back to the light. Every step feels like a prayer, promises hang in the air. Come back home, heal your heart, where the love never parts. Come back home, find your peace. In this place, your pain will cease. Memories of laughter and tears, answers to my deepest fears. In these walls I find my truth, washing away the years. Oh, the road was long and rough, but my spirit's had enough. Here in the sanctuary, healing feels extraordinary. Come back home, heal your heart, where the love never parts. Come back home, find your peace. In this place, your pain will cease.
Okay. Check, check, check. Mic check 1 2. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know if you can hear me, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Sometimes this microphone acts up. Hear me, everybody. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right, we on. We on. We are on. We're in the building. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dear Brother Podcast. Welcome to the Dear Brother Podcast. It is Thursday morning, man. It's Thursday. You made it to Thursday. Hope everybody's doing well this morning, man. Hope everything is going well. I got a good topic for us today. I got a great topic for us today, and I want to go into it. But let me know you're in the room. Let me see who's in the room. Let me see who's in the room. Good morning, Jess. Good morning, sister. Good morning, my dear sister. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being such a supportive part of the show. Your voice matters here. Your thoughts matters here. And I'm really, really proud that you're a part of what we do here, Jess. Thank you for being a part. Let me know you're in the room. I see some other people coming in the room. I am trying to hook up TikTok. I've been getting messages from TikTok about why I haven't been on their live. So I'm going to go on their live this morning. My topic today, guys, is why good guys finish last. Why do good guys finish last? Y'all in the chat, let me know what you think. If you ain't too busy getting yourself ready for work, why you think good guys finish last? Let me know why good guys finish last. I think that I got a revelation on it. Why good guys? Okay, let me get TikTok going. All right, good. Why do good guys finish last? What does that mean? And who are these good guys? Why do good guys finish last? Good morning, TikTok. We're in the building. Why do good guys finish last? Welcome to the Dear Brother Podcast. If you're on Facebook, please switch over to YouTube. If you're on TikTok, you can follow me on YouTube as well. But good morning. Welcome to the Dear Brother Podcast. Let's get into it. I want to talk about why good guys finish last. It's a concept. People talk about this a lot. Men talk about this a lot. Why do good guys finish last? Why is it like this? Why does it seem like, and I think for the ladies too, I want to talk to you because a lot of ladies say the same thing. Well, why it seems like, the worst women finish last or the worst guys finish last. But I'm going to tell you, good guys and good girls do finish last. And that's not something that people want to admit. Good morning, TikTok. That's not something people want to admit, but good guys and good girls do finish last. It's a fact. And I'm going to tell you why today. I'm going to tell you why, right? Because some of you are wondering, like some of you work hard, some of you ladies, some of you guys work hard. And it's like, why did I end up with the scraps? TikTok, good morning. This is the Dear Brother podcast. Every single morning we start at 6 a.m. Good morning, y'all. Welcome to the show. But we're talking about this morning, why do good guys finish last? And some of y'all jump in there. Let me know why you think that. Why do you think good guys finish last? I think it's hurtful. It's hurtful after a while because some of you have really worked hard to be the person you are. You know, some of you have really worked hard to be the person you are. Some of you guys have worked hard. You're not the regular guy. You're not the average guy. You work hard. You invest. You do everything you got to do to be the man you are. And it seems like you end up with the trash at the end of the day. Why do good guys finish last? You know, and so let's talk about it. This is what I think. I think good guys finish last because good guys are refined men. You know, understand this. Everybody who rises to the top doesn't stay there. A quick rise is a quick fall. I want you guys to understand this because all of us want to be somebody in this world, but it's the cost, right? It's the cost. What are you paying to be there? What are you paying to be the best on your job, right? What are you paying? And everybody wants to be everybody wants to finish at the top. But let me tell you something. If you're not ready for the top, man, you'll lose everything you have, right? And I think that our lust for being great in this society, our lust to be great as men, our lust to be effective, our lust to be at the top, our lust to be at the top of the food chain, right? It causes a lot of us to rush to the top. But there's a lot of men who rush to the top. We see it right now in society with all the celebrities falling. We see it in churches with all the celebrity preachers falling, right? What we're seeing is a group of people who rushed to the top and couldn't handle what was there. Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say this, especially to you guys. When you get to the top, the air is thin. You better make sure you can handle the top. Right. And then some people rush to the top as men. We want to be so at the top. We want to be at the top so bad that we leave a blood trail to get there. Right. That's not manhood. What we got to find out. Right. How many men, and there's some guys probably in the chat and some of you on TikTok, that you work so hard to take care of your family that you never knew your family. Right. You work so hard to take care of your children that you wind up not knowing your children. You work so hard to provide for your wife that you wound up losing her. Let's talk real this morning, right? That's what the Dear Brother podcast is all about. We don't patty cake around here, right? And I'm noticing that. I want to say that to a lot of you brothers. It seems like when men are challenged, you get real soft and soft as cotton, right? Now, I'm going to talk this morning. I'm going to talk, and I don't give a damn if I offend some of you men because I'm noticing that men are getting weaker and weaker, right? You know, I don't understand a man that can't be corrected. A man that can't be corrected is not a man. And this is part of why, you know, the concept of good guys finishing last, because there's some men that need to be refined. There's some of us that need to be changed before we can go anywhere in life. You're too soft. I thank God for my father, right? He was a hard man, and sometimes he got on my nerves being so hard. But you know what? I appreciated him. I appreciated my father because he would get on my back. He would tell me when I was being soft. He would wake me up in the morning and make me rake the leaves. And he would teach me how to change the tire on the car. You know what he was doing? He was telling me that there's hard work a part of manhood, right? And some of you guys don't want to be corrected. You don't want to be checked. It's insane. Some of the messages I get from men oh man, you want me to side with you against women? What that shows me is that some of y'all clowns need to finish last because you're not a refined man. You are not a refined man. Some of y'all are so soft. You can't take correction from nobody. And that's the problem. I believe that's a societal problem. That's a societal problem when men can't take correction. When men rather blame women. And you know who blamed women? It happened in the Garden of Eden, right? Soon as Adam fell, what did he do? It's the woman you gave me. And some of you guys are just like that. Oh, I'm not this because of this woman, or I don't want to hear nothing from no man. That means you don't want to be a man. And I think this lesson today is why good guys finish last is so prevalent. And it's so prevalent because there are some people that have not been refined as men. You don't want to be refined. You want to be who you want to be and call yourself a man. But in today's society, in 2024, y'all, we really need to redefine what manhood is because everybody has a concept of what it is. And I think a lot of people have made up what you believe manhood is. You made it up. You made up what you believe manhood is. You believe that laying with a bunch of women, that's manhood. That's not manhood. Now you got a bunch of kids you can't take care of. You think it's manhood to raise up on a woman or get in her face and get loud, try to shut her down. You think that's manhood? That's not manhood. What I'm learning, ladies and gentlemen, is that what we need in this society, is we need a redefinition of manhood, and we need men who are stripped of ego. Oh man. I know I'm gonna get some messages about this from some weak brothers, right? Who are talking about, man, I need my ego. No, your ego is what got you locked up, bro. Your ego is what gets you in jail, man. Your ego is what made you put your hands on somebody. Your ego is your problem. Your ego, for some of you guys, your ego is the reason why you can't keep a job. It's your ego, right? Because this is the truth, and this is when you really get down to it. There were times in my life where I had to admit, man, I'm not a good man right now. Can you do that? You want to be a man? Admit the times you're not being a good man. Oh man, I can repeat that 1,000 times. If you want to be a real man, admit the times you weren't a real man. That's what men do. Admit the times you weren't a real man. If you want to transition into real manhood, admit the times where you didn't approach things like a man. Right? We need redefined men. So yes, good guys do finish last. Right? Good guys do finish last because good guys take the slow road. And the slow road is not trying to obtain money or obtain women or obtain cars. The strong man obtains himself, right? The strong man, a real man, obtains himself. Can you control you? It doesn't matter what you have around you. Can you control you? And I want to say this. Let me take a pause to give y'all a little commercial. TikTok, go get my book. Go get my book on Amazon.com. It's Home Where Hurt Men Heal. Y'all see it? Home Where Hurt Men Heal is on Amazon right now. I talk about this in this book. One of the chapters in this book is called the Hungry Lion Hunts Himself. Right? The Hungry Lion hunts himself. If you're going to be a man, you got to hunt yourself. What are you hunting? I'm going to hunt my weaknesses. That's what I'm going to hunt. I'm going to hunt my weaknesses. As a man, hunt your weaknesses. Don't hunt another woman, right? That didn't get you anywhere. Hunt your weaknesses. So do good guys finish last? Yes, but you got to choose the low road. Oh, this is weird talk. Because in today's society, it's about who I can be, what I can wear, how many chains I can get on, who people think I am. At the end of the day, as men, if you want to be a man, it's not about who you think people think you are, but who are you when you look in the mirror at night? I want to challenge some of you brothers. Are you proud of you when you look at you in that mirror in the morning? Are you proud of yourself as a man? That's the question, right? Or are you getting by? Or are you thriving as a man? I challenge you to take the low road because good guys do finish last. Let me tell you why. Number one, I'm going to give you a few points before I go. Got a quick half-hour show for you this morning. Number one, the stripping process, right? A real man has to be refined. You hear me, TikTok? A real man needs to be refined. What does that mean? That means that he has to strip away a superficial success. He has to strip away superficial success. You, as a man, you got to strip away your props. You got to remove your props, the things that made you feel manly, the things that made you feel like you were the man, and you knew it wasn't real. It was superficial. It wasn't real. It's like when somebody gets drunk and they become the toughest person ever. It's superficial. It's not real, right? And you start to learn. I'm talking about grown men. I ain't talking about no little boys who want to argue this conversation. I'm talking about grown men who realize that the show you put on at times wasn't really you, and there's really a desire to get back to the best you. And the only way to get back to the best you is to strip away your props. Strip away what you added to your life to add strength that wasn't really there. Oh man, let's get into it, right? Strength that wasn't really there. I'll give y'all an example. I've been a public speaker all my life since the age of 14, right? That's my gift. I can public speak. You can put me anywhere. I've been everywhere. I've been in stadiums in Africa. I've been in leprosy colonies in India speaking. I've been all around the world. And you know what? My gift of speaking at some point became my prop. It became my prop. It became my ability to speak. And I was able to hide behind it because I was so gifted to speak that I could talk to anybody and travel anywhere. And guess what? I hid behind my gift. If you want to be a real man, if you want to be the good guy, you got to realize that you got to get rid of what you're able to hide behind. Or some of you hide behind your money, right? Some of you gentlemen hide behind the car you drive. And that's why you realize it when some of you present to a woman, the first thing you present to a woman is what you have, not who you are. Oh, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Huh? That's why that's facts. You go to a bar, here you trying to buy, send her a drink, send her a drink, send her a drink. You know what? You can't go down there and talk to her because your self-confidence is not there. You're leading with your cash. Right? If you want a woman to see your car before she hears your conversation, you're not confident in yourself. You're confident in what you drive. I mean, I might never have anybody follow me again. That's the good thing about me and my heart and what I've been through. I'm not on social media to get people to follow me. I'm on social media to get people who really want to grow. So let's go somewhere. Right? But many of us have you lead with that house that you got. You lead with your car. You lead with your toughness, trying to act so tough when you go into different environments, right? You got to be stripped of that. There's a stripping process to refine a man. You want to be a man, there's a refining process to get rid of your props, your superficial success, right? Or your superficial comforts, the things that keep you comfortably uncomfortable. Yeah. There's some characters we put on that we're not satisfied with. We put them on because they make us feel better in the moment. Let me see who's in the chat. Okay. Let me see. Ego is a problem. Yes, sister. Yes. Let me see. Y'all been commenting. Let me see. All right. Eric, you're right. It's about the foundation. It is solid and firm with righteousness and moral. And yes. That's the foundation of a man. But guess what? We don't find that. TikTok, I'm trying to involve y'all on my screen so I can comment, but I got to figure out the text. Maybe y'all can help me. But brothers, listen, that's the facts, Eric. You're right about it. The foundation, and many of us don't have foundation because we've built our foundation on stuff that makes us feel like something we're not. Listen, the scariest thing to be is yourself. The scariest thing to be is yourself because this world doesn't accept who you are. This world wants you to be something other than you all the time, right? Think about it. In school, some of you brothers had such a hard time in school because school didn't let you be you. Let's get into it. Let's talk this morning. In fact, let's blow the roof off this. We're going to do more than a half-hour show this morning, right? Some of you in school, you had such a hard time in school because you couldn't be you. Right? Because they needed you to learn like everybody else learned. Some of you haven't been yourself since you were little because you had to act like you had things together that you really didn't. It's hard. It's hard to keep acting, brothers. It's hard to keep acting, right? Some of you went to high school and you wanted to be a ladies' man, right? And you did all kinds of stuff, right? You were around people you didn't really want to be around or trying to be something you really wasn't, right? A lot of us have been faking ourselves out for a long time. And guess what? I'm going to say this. It's okay for a season to fake yourself out for people while you're young growing up. But some of us are in our 30s and 40s, 50s, even 60s that are still faking people out because the fact is we're faking ourselves out as men. I know some of y'all saying, man, we going hard in the morning. Hell yeah, I'm going hard in the morning because on your way to work, you know what I want you to do today? I want you not to fake it as a man today. That's what I want. I want you to not have to fake it. I want you to not have to be something you're not to impress people that don't care about you. See, that's the hard part. Y'all hear me, TikTok? Y'all hear me, Facebook? Y'all hear me? That's the hard part. The hard part is that you are trying to impress people that don't give a damn about you. How long are you going to do that before you strip yourself of the masquerade you put on, right? Some of you struggle in marriage. You struggle in marriage because your wife wants you and you're trying to be somebody else. Or you married a woman who didn't want you. She married your act. Oh, man. Come on. I'm not fighting y'all today. I'm fighting the enemy that's been against men's minds since the beginning of time. We trick ourselves. We trick ourselves out of blessings. We trick ourselves out of having good women. We trick ourselves out of having a good wife. We trick ourselves out of having a good future because we've acted so much for people that don't care, right? You've acted so much for people that don't care. You know, some of us have become a different man for every woman we've met. When are you going to be you and tell these chicks, listen, if you don't like me, that's okay. And for some of you sisters that's in here, I want to say that too. Stop becoming a different woman for every man you meet. You know what you're going to wind up? Out of your mind, right? You're going to wind up out of your mind. You're going to wind up out of your mind trying to put on a show for people. If you want to listen, good guys do finish last because good guys can handle what the success that's at the top. Y'all know why? I always talk about this. One of my favorite basketball players was Allen Iverson. Well, I'm a Philly guy, right? So Allen Iverson was my guy, and he went through $150 million. You know why? Because he wasn't in connection with himself. What are you saying, Christian? What I'm trying to tell you, brothers, this morning is you add all kinds of stuff to your life and you think it's going to make you better. You won't be better as a man until you feel better without anything. You got to be who you are without money, right? You got to be who you are. You see how I'm talking to y'all right now? And I'm not getting paid for this. Nobody's sending me money for this. I'm passionate about saving the lives of men because I know we have an enemy that's trying to take us all out. You understand? So you got to be who you are. And right now, I got 9 on TikTok. I got about 10 on YouTube. I don't know how many I got on Facebook. But let me tell you something. I've spoken in small places with 5 people, and I have gone just as hard as I've gone in a stadium with 20,000 people. You know why? Because you got to be who you are no matter what's against you as a man. You got to be who you are no matter what's against you as a man. I'm going to get back to the chat. Let me get back to my notes right quick. Right? Because this is the issue. You're the reason why you feel like you're losing, or some of you guys feel like you're a good guy and you're finishing last, right? Because let me sneak this in. Some women don't want good men. Uh-oh. Come on, talk to me. Hey, bro, there are some women that don't want good men. And you wonder why you keep on finishing last? Because you're trying to be a good man to a woman that don't want a good man. Huh? Some women want puppets. They don't want a good man. And you're trying to be your best for a woman that don't even know what a good man is. You got to know what a good man is. Oh, man. Oh, let me slow down and get into this. You got to know what a good man is because you have women that don't know what a good man is telling you what she thinks a good man is. And because you want to be with her, you're becoming what she wants you to be and you're losing yourself. Come on, man. Save yourself from this insanity. Start losing that ego that made you become something you wasn't. Let's get into it, right? Because losing or being refined. I'm going to write this book because this is going to turn into a book, probably 2025. I'm going to put out a book called You're a Loser, Why Good Guys Finish Last. Yeah, because good guys have to finish last because we have to be stripped away, right? Because stripping helps you build character as a man. That's what it does. Stripping helps you, when you're stripped as a man, it helps you build character, right? What it is it helps you be equipped to handle the success you want with integrity, right? You see, Allen Iverson lost that because he wasn't a changed man. I got honor and respect for that man, Allen Iverson. And I realized if you give a kid who hasn't refined himself $30 million, he's going to lose his mind. Come on. Some of y'all know it. Some of y'all on TikTok know it. Some of my brothers on TikTok. Come on, brothers. Some of y'all on YouTube, you know it. If somebody dropped too much on you right now, that gift will become a curse because you're not in position to handle it. Let's talk, right? All of us want to have something, but the question is, as a man, have you been stripped of your ego? Have you been stripped of the negative things in you that you would turn a gift into a curse? Right? Let's talk, because some of you brothers, you say ain't no good women out here. Some of us had good women. Stop lying, yo. Stop lying. Come on TikTok, come on Facebook, come on YouTube, come on brothers this morning. Some of us had good women. Now I know some of you clowns are going to jump in my chat talking about, oh man, you going to defend men again. But we talking as men right here, right? I've had men jump in my chat and say, you showing off for women. How am I showing off for women on a man's podcast talking to men? That's how soft some of you are. But if you want to be a man, hear me out and don't look for the fight, look for the growth, right? You got to be equipped to handle long-term success. Allen Iverson wasn't equipped for that. Mike Tyson wasn't equipped to handle long-term success. No, he wasn't. right? Most of us who go up there aren't equipped because nobody equipped us at the bottom. But you know what? If you're going to win, you got to lose, bro. You got to lose. And what do you got to lose? You got to lose the broken pieces of you that will cause you to lose at the top. Because you don't want to obtain something you can't maintain. As a man, listen to me, TikTok brothers. Listen to me, my brothers. You cannot keep on obtaining what you can't maintain. Any of us can get a good woman. Can you keep her? Any of us can get a good job. Can you keep it? Any of us can dream a great dream. Can you keep the dream? Right? It don't matter that you start. The power is in finishing, bro. The power is in finishing. What are you going to finish as a man? I'm challenging you today. I'm challenging you on your way to work. Hell yeah, I'm challenging you at 6 something in the morning, my man, because there's too much greatness in you. There's too much greatness in you for you to keep on walking beneath your privilege as a man. You're too dope. You've studied too hard. You've worked too hard. You've come through too much. Right? Some of you have come out of the worst backgrounds. You didn't have good family. You didn't have a good father. You grew up with less. You didn't have what other people had. And bro, you still made it. Stand up this morning, man. I want to say I'm proud of you. I want to say I'm proud of you, my brothers on TikTok. I'm proud of you, my brothers on YouTube. I'm proud of you because you shouldn't have made it this far. But the question is, do you want to make it further? Well, if you want to make it further, you got to strip yourself of the things and the props that have held you up. Right? This is the thing. There's a group of men who are willing to be stripped to be great. And there's another group of men who are addicted to shortcuts. Come on. There's a group of men that are addicted to shortcuts. That's who you don't want to be. You don't want to be a man that's addicted to shortcuts and compromise. There are men that are addicted to shortcuts and compromise. And guess what? Quick rise, quick fall, because they didn't have what it took to stay on the top. Oh, man. You don't want to be that, bro. You do not want to be a shortcut guy. You hear me? You don't want to be I'm always taking the shortcut. I'm always cutting the deal. No, man up, stand up, and take the rough road to the top. Because the rough road will remind you of what it costs to get there, and you're not willing to just throw it away for something, right? Some of us have built great things. You threw it away in a day for a woman who didn't care about you. You threw it away. You threw it away for the idea of being something that you're not. Come on, man, protect yourself. You work too hard to get where you are, to throw it all away for compromise. So do good guys finish last? Absolutely. Because of a stripping away process. Number 2, good guys finish last because we're okay with delayed gratification. Good guys finish last because we're okay with delayed gratification, right? You want to be a great man and you want to go to the top and be effective in the world around you. You want long-term fulfillment over short-term wins, right? Some of us want a short-term win, but it don't last in here. Come on, man. You know what that shortcut costs you? That shortcut costs you having a baby with a woman you only want to be with. Huh? You know what that shortcut costs you? That shortcut costs you a sexually transmitted disease. You got an STD because you took a shortcut. You didn't value yourself enough. Yeah. Oh, come on. Let's get into it. Come on. How many times have you shortcut yourself? Right? How many times have you shortcut yourself when there was a promotion on the job, but you wanted to see who could hook you up? Man, real men ain't looking for a hookup. Real men are looking to be refined so they can be who they got to be. Right? Long-term fulfillment. Our addiction to instant gratification is what's hurting us. Right? We want it now. We want it now. We want it now. Man, slow down so you can keep it. Slow down so you can keep it. Wanting something and keeping something are two different things. Wanting something and keeping something are two totally different things. Can you keep it? Are you okay with delayed gratification? Or are you addicted to now? Oh man. If I can convince you off the drug of now. Oh man. If I can get you, brother, off the drug of now, I can show you a better life. I can show you a better life if I can get you off the drug called now. You're addicted to now. You're so addicted to now, you're not willing to wait for anything. What am I waiting for? I'm waiting for me to be the best me so I don't lose once I gain. Right? So this might make finish last in a sense, right? It makes it better, right? Be a loser. Oh, Christian, you tripping. Yeah, no, I'm not tripping. Be a loser, bro. Lose all the fraudulent things, fraudulent people, fraudulent places, and fraudulent things that have kept you from being the man you want to be. Be a loser, bro. It's too many men trying to gain. You're trying to gain everything. You can't hold everything together. That's the danger. You can't hold everything together. Eventually, all that's going to fall out your fingers. Let me see. All right, let's get into it. Let's go deeper. Right? Because when you take the instant gratification, you gain things that don't last. What you need in life to really grow and go, you need to produce lasting relationships, right? Lasting things, lasting career, lasting in your personal growth. You don't want a shot in the arm to make you feel better, man. Right? We look at people. I'm gonna tell you, some of us look at people. Oh, they get high, or I remember one of my friends got on crack one time years ago. He got on crack, and he was explaining to me what it felt like. He said, "Man," the first time I took it, it took me somewhere I've never been before. It's okay, and he was explaining to me that that's what causes the chase for drug abuse. That's what causes the chase. The drug abuse starts with trying to chase the first feeling. Instant. Right? And that's what you get. See, this is the thing. We look at people on drugs and we say, oh, look at them. How many things are you addicted to that you still chasing the high? Oh, you ain't. See, you become judgmental. Oh, I'm not on that. You on something. What got you running so fast? What has you running so fast as a man that you're losing yourself? What got you running so fast? Right? Some of us run so fast that we wind up with heart attacks. What you chasing? Think about it. Come on. What you think? What are you chasing, bro? What are you chasing that's making you sick? Right? What are you chasing where you can't watch your health? And y'all watching in 2 days or so, I'm gonna do a whole podcast on health and why we don't go to the doctor as men. We're gonna talk about it. This might make finishing last, make it feel horrible. It might feel horrible to finish last, but you're losing the things that'll make you lose at the top. You don't want to lose at the top, right? As much as you'll look back now, y'all laugh at Diddy and Baby Oil and all that. Guess what? I'm 44, and some of y'all my age, at one time, he was the man. For 30 years, he created music everybody danced to. And guess what? While we're looking, at one time, that was a hero of music. What you learn from that is that instant gratification of success couldn't change the character within that man, right? Money doesn't change you. Money only allows you to afford the brokenness that you couldn't have when you had no money. So let's get into it, right? Let's get into it. Because again, money don't make you a better man, right? Being married don't make you a better man, right? You will ruin everything around you if you're refusing to be a better man, and you lose everything around you, right? Trying to gain things and refusing to be the man that can handle what you gain. Okay. All right. Let's get number 3. Maintain what you obtain. You don't want to embarrass yourself at the top, right? That's what your enemy wants you to do. Your enemy wants you to embarrass yourself at the top. That's the same thing that happened in the book of Genesis. Right? The enemy of Adam wanted him to embarrass himself at the top. Adam had everything, but he couldn't stand not to have the one thing. Oh, come on, y'all ready? Y'all feeling this? Y'all, come on, let's go. Right? He had a whole garden. He had everything he wanted. Right? He had everything he could possibly need. And God said, don't touch that one thing right there. What did he do? He went and grabbed that one thing. You know why? He couldn't. Our curiosity about what we don't need becomes greater than embracing what we have, right? Some of you brothers wouldn't have went through a divorce if you embraced what you had. You wanted more. You see, the lust for more is hurting us. So you got number 4. Number 3 was maintain what you obtain. Number 4, the reunion. What's the reunion? The reunion means I'm going to return to myself. I'm returning to my greatest self, right? I'm returning to my greatest self because I'm stripped of ego, I'm stripped of pride, and I'm stripped of false ideals about myself. Man, that's the worst trap you can ever live in, where you're living under false ideas about yourself, right? Even if it's negativity. I'll tell y'all a story. My dad was a very angry man. And so I found growing up, I start becoming angry. And I'm like, man, what is that? I was carrying my father's anger. I was separated from myself. And I had to ask myself one day, why are you so mad? I looked at my life. You got this, you got that. Why are you so mad? And I realized that anger I was carrying from a bloodline. There are things, brother, man. Study. Don't call everything the devil, bro. There's some things that are right in your bloodline that if you don't change, and you know what, brother, let me tell you something. There's some things you got to change so your son won't carry it. There's some things you got to change in your bloodline so your son doesn't carry it. The best thing you can do for your children is return back to you. You want to be a good dad? Return back to yourself. Return back to yourself. Return back to the greatest you before your hurt, before your pain, before your pride, before your ego. You want to be a good father? Return back to yourself. It's not about the gifts that are going to be under the Christmas tree, bro. The holidays is coming up, right? And for you brothers that don't celebrate the holidays, you still feel what I'm saying, right? It's all about, we provide for our kids. Whatever you give your kid, the greatest gift you can ever give your kid don't cost you money. It costs you pride. Eesh. Yeah? And sometimes that's why it's easier for us to, it's easy for us to take care of our families in a financial way because we have too much pride to invest ourselves. I'll invest my money. I'll invest this. I'll send y'all on vacation. We'll do this. But can you sit down and talk to your kids? You got to kill your pride to do that. Get into your kids' world. You got to kill your pride to do that. You want to get into your kids' world? You got to put your iPad down. You got to shut down the computer. You got to sit on the floor. You got to kill your ego and be with your kid. You got to stop saying that doing homework with the babies is the job of your wife. No, it's your job too, bro. You know what it means for a little kid, for your little daughters or little sons, for you to sit there, high five them after they get 1 + 2, right? You know what it means to hug them and say, I'm proud of you after they know what 5 + 5 is. You know what it means for your high school kid to sit there with them and work on their essay with them. Your children need fathers, bro. But you got to strip your pride away of saying, oh, let his mother do it. No, it means more when you're dad. You know, your kids want to make you are a king. Your kids want to make you proud. Do you know what it is for you to slow down your pace of your life? The hell with that job. Do you realize your job is going to hire somebody else, bro? If you die today, your job is going to hire somebody else. Right? I was a pastor before. I used to say this to pastors. Do you know that those people in your congregation already know what church they're going to join when you fall or die? They already know. They got themselves covered. The only person that's not covered in this is you. But you got to strip your ego to see that, right? Reconnecting with your purpose is the greatest gift you can give yourself and your family. Number 5, let me finish up here. The finish line. What's the finish line? The finish line is the reason why I need the best me is because there's people out there that need my gift. There's a world around you that need your gift. Listen, you were born to solve a problem. You weren't born to just exist. You were born to solve a problem. There are people around you that need your gift. The reason why you need to be stripped away of all your ego and all the things, and because the finish line is there's people I need to affect around me. Right? There's people that I need to affect around me. Remember this. I'm going to end the show right here, then I'll answer some questions. Remember this. You're not chasing success. Don't chase success. Do not chase success. Brothers, hear me. If you heard nothing else I said this morning in this morning show, do not chase success. Right? The goal is not to chase success. The goal is to become the kind of man who can handle success when it comes. Come on. Y'all hear me? Do not chase success. The goal is not chasing success. The goal is being the kind of man that can handle success when it comes. All right, TikTok. Thanks for listening to me, TikTok. Y'all stay on. TikTok, I'm out of here. All right. Let me see. Let me go to the questions. Let me go in the chat. Let me see if there's anybody in Instagram that has any. Okay. Let me say, lasting relationships will help you go and grow. Absolutely. Avoid embarrassing. Okay, let me see. Yes. Yes, strip yourself of ego, pride, and false ideas of yourself. Absolutely. Let me see in the chat. All right. Oh my God, y'all been talking. Let me see. Eric, you're right. It's about the foundation, and it's okay. We read that. Wait, yes, we read that. I'm sorry. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Yolanda. Let me see. Ego is a problem. Ego is a big problem. Ego is why jails are full. Facebook, if you're on Facebook, please go over to YouTube. Subscribe to the Dear Brother Podcast. I'm clicking off of Facebook now. All right. All right. Let me see. Ego is a mighty problem, right? Yeah, ego is a mighty problem. It will destroy the best of you. Ego is a great problem, man. It will destroy the best of you. Let me see. If you want to be a real man, admit the times you. Oh, I forgot I said that, Yolanda. If you want to be a real man, admit the times you were not a real man. Oh my God. Let me see. I had to make a decision of walking away from from financially becoming wealthy or lose my family, and peace in the process. And I chose peace, and has been blessed with stability, right, in a career of 18. Congratulations, my man. You could that's the decisions that men must make, man. That's a decision that men must make. I made a decision. Look, bro, just those first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, those first 6 words are mind blowing, Eric. I had to make a decision, right? How many of you brothers got to make a decision? You got a decision you need to make, right? You have to make it. And guess what? You're not always going to make the right decision. But you know what's honorable? Making a decision. When you make a decision, you can figure out what's next. But don't freeze as a man and don't make a decision, right? Don't freeze as a man and don't make any decision, because that doesn't get you anywhere, right? If you need advice about anything, jump in there right now, guys, and we'll talk about it. I'm going down the chat right now. Let's talk about it. All right. Let me see. A real man needs to be refined. Remove the things that were superficial, that made you feel like a man. Strip away the props. Yes, you got to. It doesn't last. It does not last. Yes, let me see. The fly of pigeon flock, but the path of the bald eagle is height, singular elevation, and this is why his legacy and meaning is so absolutely, man. See, the eagle goes ahead and takes his flight. He goes in and takes his flight because he can know he can handle the height. Let me tell y'all a story right quick. Let me tell you. Good morning, Martina. Good morning, sister. Good morning. Yes. So listen. So let me tell y'all a story right quick. So it was an airline pilot, right? It was an airline pilot, and the airline pilot kept on hearing this scratching. You hear that? Kept on hearing this scratching in the right above his head, right? Kept on hearing this scratching, and he's flying the plane. And he keeps on hearing the scratching. And he's looking like, what is this scratching? What is this scratching? So he asked the co-pilot, yo, check what that is. So he kept on hearing the scratching. And the pilot said, you know what, man? It must be a mouse or something. Up there. It must be something up there, right? And so the co-pilot goes and takes the broomstick and starts to hit the ceiling of the plane. And the pilot says, yo, stop. You're going to break something. And the co-pilot says, how are we going to get it out? And so the pilot says, I know what to do. And the pilot holds on. And he pulls the plane back. And the plane starts to go higher and higher and higher and higher. And the co-pilot said, what you doing? He said, I'm taking us higher. Because as we get higher and higher, the air will get thin. And as the plane went up, he heard a thump. And the animal that was in that plane died. Not because they were trying to hit it with a stick and hurting themselves, but they went to a height where their enemy could not breathe. You want to be strong? I'm going to end the show right there. You want to be strong? Don't fight. Climb to a height where your enemies cannot breathe. Let's get into it. What does it look like? Let me see. And what does that look like? I'm sorry, Rich. Is Rich, if you still on? I'm sorry, I was teaching away, bro. And I Rich, if you still on, let me know. Rich Sosa on YouTube. If you're on, let me know what you mean so I can answer your question. What does that look like? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My man, Philly John. That's a dope name. Philly Johnpreneur. That's dope, sis. That's fly. I hope all of your business is great. Philly Johnpreneur. I hope all your business is great. I hope everything about your dreams go viral. Good morning, Quentin. Good morning, my man. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Anybody else in the chat got anything to share? Any questions you want to ask? This is Dear Brother the Advice time. I'm done teaching, but good guys do finish last. Let me know if y'all think I should put out that book. Put it in the chat. Do y'all think I should put out that book? Good. It's going to be called Loser. It's going to be called Loser. Why Good Men Finish Last. Yes. Right? All of us want instant gratification, man. All of us want something. You got to realize, man, it's something greater. It's something greater. Your inward greatness is better to chase. Let me see. All right. Thanks, Rich. Here you go, Rich. Not chasing success, but become the man that can handle it. Okay. Oh, Rich. Thanks, Rich. Brilliant, bro. Brilliant. Let me get back on the big screen. Great question, Rich. And thank you for coming through this morning, my man. Let me put you up. What does not chasing success, but become the man that can handle it? Okay. What does that look like? What that looks like, Rich, is that looks like setting your mind in a place where you are satisfied with yourself as a man, where you realize at that point, I don't need all these other things to make me who I am. I am who I am without all this stuff, right? A man who is confident in himself, and what confidence in yourself means, I know my weaknesses. I know my strengths. I know what irritates me. I know what provokes me, right? I know my weaknesses. I know my strengths. I know what irritates me. I know what provokes me to greatness, right? I know what challenges me. When you have a full awareness of yourself, excuse me, when you have a full awareness of yourself, then you can handle success. Because if you don't have a full awareness of success, success will change you, right? So I'll give you another clear example. I get on this podcast every morning, Rich, 6 a.m. And I'm here with my hoodie on, with my hat. I don't care what I grab, because my goal when I jump on this computer is to shake the lives of men, right? Now, y'all know, like I know, you can become a flat out star on social media. You can. Right? And imagine now I'm coming down at 5 a.m. and I got a silk robe on, right? Because I done made it on social media. And I got, I don't know, I'm looking different. I'm talking all swaggy, and I'm not talking with intensity. And now I'm talking about getting money. And right? What did that success do to me? It changed me because I was unaware of me, right? When I come down here broke, like I am, right? And I'm pushing hard and I'm talking heavy to change men's lives, right? I got to be that same dude when success comes, right? But the only way to be that same dude when success comes, Rich, is for me to be fully aware of me. It's the power of self-awareness. So that when I drive a certain car, it don't change my attitude toward my purpose. It don't change my attitude toward my family. Self-awareness is key to being able to handle success. Rich, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. You ready to pre-order? Yeah, man. I think I'm going to put that out in 2025. I'm putting a book out. I'm putting a new book out in December, y'all. Right, called Letters to My Sons. I walked all the way through the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs is for men. It's a father talking to a son. I go through every chapter and I talk about what that means, the relevance of what that means in 2024. I'm putting that book out in December for my birthday. December 7th, I'm going to be dropping that book, Letters to My Sons. 31 days of victory, right? 31 days of victory. I'm putting that out in December 7th. Y'all look out for that, right? 2025 though, AD, 2025, I'm putting out Why Good Guys Finish Last. Absolutely. Absolutely. Rich, thank you for answering that question. Any more questions? Any more questions, man? Throw them in the chat. Throw them in the chat. I'm done teaching, but I want to help some of you guys personally, right? It's things that's on your mind, things you're trying to figure out. You're having a rough time in your marriage. You know, you're trying to figure out things with your kids. Some of you got kids. Let me see. You got kids going. My son is in college right now, man. Before you roll, I need you to drop a good word for us. I will. All right. If you got any more, throw it in the chat. I know y'all are a little bit behind me, so stuff goes slow on my end. But y'all, if you got something, throw it in the chat, man, and I'll address it before I leave the show. All right. But let me finish down here again. I'm gonna finish down here on this last part. The finish line. I want to reiterate this. The finish line. The finish line. It's not about chasing. I'm gonna repeat this. I need y'all to get this. It's not about chasing. It's about becoming the kind of man that can handle success. Right? Go on Amazon, y'all. Get home. Where Hurt Men Heal. Go get this book. Go get it for a brother. Go get it for an uncle. Go get it for a dad. Go get it for a man who you know needs a little push. Look, it's a short book. I don't like reading long books, so I don't write long books, right? But let me tell y'all about the chapters right quick. Chapter number 1. All the things we try to be. Am I enough? Chapter number 1. Listen, it's not only women who deal with that. Y'all can still talk in the chat. If you want to ask a question, I'll come back and do some advice in the chat. But the first chapter, all the things we try to be. Am I enough? Women don't just battle that. Men, you deal with that too. You deal with that too, right? Some of you guys that are in a relationship, you wonder if you're enough for your wife. Are you satisfying her, right? And I ain't talking about just sexually. That could be part of it, right? But are you enough? Men battle with that. Go get this book, man. The Fog of Opportunity. The fog of opportunity is when you look around and you get sucked into chasing some other opportunity, never really fulfilling yourself. It's somewhat what Rich Sosa asked about earlier on YouTube. Chapter 3, connections we forge from fear. How many connections did you make because you were scared to stand on your own? How many bad relationships did you build, right? With bad friendships with men, bad relationships with women because you weren't satisfied with you, right? I mentioned this chapter earlier. The next chapter 4. The humble lion hunts himself. The humble lion hunts himself. Yeah, I'm not looking to devour everything around. I'm not going to devour my brother. See that, and I believe that's why the murder rate is so high in our urban cities, right? Right? Because I'd rather hunt you than hunt me. Come on, some of y'all advocates out there dealing with violence in your communities. Think about that. Put that in your head and start thinking on that. That'll help you with your movement out there, right? That's the reason why young men are hurting each other. Because I'd rather hunt you than hunt me. It's easier for me to see what's weak about you than to see what's weak about me. So I'll hurt you instead of hurting me. Right? Yeah, because I don't want to think about me. That's for some of you brothers that can't sit by yourself. You always need to be at the bar. You always need to be around music. You always need to be around. You got to be at this party. You got to be everywhere. You know, some of us call that, oh, I'm just social. So, I'm not saying you're not. But you know what? Sometimes it's also the inability to sit with yourself. The inability to sit with yourself and make you chase. Oh, man, any party, any gathering, any family, anything anybody's doing. You'll go to something you don't want to go to just so you don't sit with yourself. I'm telling you, be careful of those times where you find your life in a rush, trying to do and trying to be and trying to go because you can't sit with yourself, bro. It's a dangerous place. It's a dangerous place because you get to know everything around you. You don't get to know yourself. When you know everything around you and not yourself, you're affected by what's around you. You're not stable enough to sit with you and be okay with you. I'm telling you, man. And I didn't learn this stuff till later on in life, man. Most of the stuff I'm teaching y'all, I learned through pain, through life. But I learned myself when I finally was able to sit down. I didn't sit down all my life, man. I didn't sit down all my life. I was hustling, working, building. And you know what? A lot of that stuff I did because I was gifted, but I wonder now how much of that stuff, how much work I did because of low self-esteem. And chapter 5 is discovering home, right? And chapter 6 is when I tell y'all what I went through while I was homeless, right? But I wonder how many of us, right? I wonder not how many of it. I wonder with me, right? I didn't sit down. I didn't love me. I didn't love me. I was hiding behind my gifting. And that's for some of y'all religious people on here, right? You hide behind your gifting. You hide behind your ability to touch others. But when was you in touch with you? Because I'm gonna tell you, bro, you cannot um build your hopes on things that leave. You're gonna stay with you. Oh, go get this book. It's helping men. Go get this book for somebody. And some of you brothers, the matching book to this for your wife, for your girlfriend, The Soul of Sarah. These books are changing lives. Go get this book, Amazon.com right now. Right now. I'm telling you, it's a short book too. You sit there with your lady, you read these books together. It'll strengthen your relationship. Buy this book for your girl. It'll strengthen your relationship. Sit down, read it together. It'll strengthen your relationship. That's not weak. You know, that's not weak. That's manhood. Women always buying books for us. Hey, baby, I bought a book, or baby, I was thinking about this. Man, you man up. Take this. Hey, babe, I bought these 2 Jones for us. We gonna better our relationship. We gonna understand each other more, right? Because that's the cat fight you see on That's the cat fight that you see on social media now, right? I got to do a pod on this. I got to do a live on this or something because I can't stand it. I can't stand seeing how women see men and how men see women and the dog fight that's on social media. The dog fight. We're killing each other on social media. The dog fight, man. Right? Oh man, cause they, right? We talk about women like they're the enemy. They, right? And women talk about men like they're the enemy. They ain't no real men. This is how men are. Right? That's how we deal with each other. And we're destroying relationship. We're acting like we don't need each other. But this is the crazy thing. Let's really talk. This is the crazy thing. For men and women to sit down and act like they don't need each other and they hate each other, but we still make babies. What kind of generations are we creating that we hate each other, but we'll lay down to make a baby with a person we're not looking to understand. We're not looking, right? We're not looking, and we create all these children. And what happens when you create children out of unions that are fake unions? What you're doing is destroying an entire generation. That's what you're doing. You're destroying an entire generation. Man, we got to get real about this, right? And I personally believe, y'all might not believe me, but I personally believe that a lot of this stuff is funded by somebody. And anytime you're going to try to tear up an entire generation of people, destroy the definition of love, right? Anytime you got all these horrible podcasts out here that bring young women on and have men attacking them, right? And you got shows like the Balloon Show, the Balloon Pop, where, why you pop your balloon? Oh, I ain't like his jeans. Do you realize how social media is totally destroying the fabric of what love and choice means, right? Because I'm going to tell you, you want to get the divorce rate down? This is how you get the divorce rate down. Teach people how to choose better. Most people are in relationships they don't want to be in. There are people that have walked down the aisle and knew they didn't want to get married as they were walking down that aisle. You know why? Because we teach people to get married, but we don't teach people how to choose who to marry. Come on, y'all. This is facts, man. This is facts, right? We teach, you should get married. Well, who? How do I choose? Right? How do I choose who to marry? Right? And for some of the ladies that don't hear, how do you know who to say I do to? Right? We are messing up generations with this social. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. The fights that we have on social media, even on my page. I see where men, look, I see, again, I go back to the beginning of the podcast. I see where men attack me for challenging us. That's the issue. We don't want to hear from each other. Men don't want to hear from women, and women don't want to hear from men, right? Because we swear we know each other. And all we're doing is we're defining women based on the last woman we dealt with. And women are defining men based on the last relationship they dealt with. And so now you have this chaos, and that's what we're having. And that's why the generations are getting worse. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. You know why? Because the enemy, Satan, is the most subtle beast of the field. You got to see this. While we're doing studies and stuff on this, what you need is to reproduce real love, but not real love for the other person. You got to produce real love for you. We can heal a generation if we teach men how to love themselves. If you listen, bro, listen, some of y'all have gotten in the worst relationships. I've been in some of the worst relationships. You know why? Because I didn't love myself. I was trying to help somebody else. I thought my love was enough to help them instead of loving myself enough to know, you know what? That's not for me. See, true love for yourself helps you realize what's not for you. You choose better when you love you. Yeah. Right? Right? Some of you religious guys, you know what you do? You choose your wife based on who the church is going to accept. Yep. Some of y'all chose a girl who gonna look good on your arm when you slide through, man. When I slide, they gonna look crazy. When she beautiful, man. You know what they gonna think when I got her on my arm? They don't keep a relationship. You see? We're living on too many false principles. We're deciding based on too much fake stuff. We're following a society that's changing in circles, and we're losing, guys. Right? So that's why this lesson today makes complete sense. Why do good guys finish last? I want to finish last. I don't want to win the race. I want to make sure that I got what I need so the win means something. Y'all feel me? You want to make sure you want to make sure your wins mean something. I don't want to get there and still have low self-esteem. Y'all hear me? I don't want to get there. I got low self-esteem right now. I battle with low self-esteem every day. Y'all hear me? I got to deal with that. I got to deal with that. I got to let God refine me. I got to let God refine me. Why? Because I don't want to get to the top and still feel bad about myself. Right? I don't want to be a cocky idiot. No, that's not in me. Sometimes I thank God that I got low self-esteem. Honestly, sometimes I think it's a gift. Because what I can't stand is to see gifted men walking with their heads up, they're better than everybody, talking down to everybody. Like, I don't ever want to be that. But I also don't want to live a life where I don't really buy into who I am as Christian winners. That's who I am, right? And I don't want you to do it. I don't want you to live less than who you are. But I also don't want you to go too fast and think you're something you're not. Because life will show you, right? That new term I think these kids is using, and not even kids, I hear adult, man, I'm him. I'm him. I'm him. Okay. Nobody's him. Nobody's him. You know who him is? Life. Life is him, bro. Life will show you ain't him. Whoever you thought you was, life will show you not him. And sometimes it's good to get knocked down so you can see, man, I didn't need that. I didn't need that prop. I'm not that. Right? I'm so happy sitting in the house talking to y'all, wearing sweats every day, writing books, creating because I don't need stardom. I don't want to be a star that falls. And neither do you. But you got to strip away your ego. See, because we think ego is good. Ego is not good. Self-confidence is good. Ego sucks. Your ego sucks. Ego is the worst thing you can walk in. Ego. You know what? You know why men have gone to jail for crime? Ego. Right? There's some people that could have walked away. Ego made you stay there. And now I'm talking to some of y'all. How much has your ego cost you? How much has your ego cost you, man? Right? Jump in the chat, brothers. Be honest. Tell me some of the times that ego cost you something. What did ego cost you? What did it cost you? Because it'll cost you a lot, man. Ego cost you a whole great relationship. It cost you some money. Ego. I was watching Fat Joe yesterday. He had an interview on Club Shay on Shannon Sharp's podcast. And he said that he lost, I think, a $20 million contract with Jordan. Right? He lost a $20 million contract with Jordan. And Shay was like, yo, why did you lose $20 million? He said, I lost $20 million because he said I was secretly doing a deal to create a shoe with Michael Jordan. He said, and before I even got that opportunity to create that shoe, he said I had 7 meetings 7 meetings with Michael Jordan before he even offered me the opportunity to do it. 7 meetings, flying here, flying there, flying. All this investment in building this shoe with Michael. And this is a big opportunity. He says the next day after the 7th meeting he had, the next day he got on an award show. He got on an award show and started having an open, loud beef that got caught on camera with 50 Cent. He said the next morning his phone rang and Michael Jordan said, hey, he called him Big Joe. He said, hey, Big Joe, what's going on? And Joe said, oh, man, nothing. What's going on, Mike? He said, oh, I saw that beef you had on TV last night open. He said, I don't like that public chaos. He said, maybe we can work together next time. Ego made him argue with somebody who had nothing for him. Made him lose $20 million contract with the greatest basketball player who played the game with the greatest brand because he had to argue with somebody. Come on. How many times have your ego cost you? What has your ego cost you? And when you really assess what your ego has cost you, it's worth stripping away. Right? It's worth stripping away. You know, one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, I was homeless. May 15th, 2022. May 15th, 2022, the greatest thing that ever happened to me was losing everything. Listen, I'm talking about I had a walk-in closet that was the size of a bedroom and a half. 6-bedroom house. I mean, the driveway around my house looked like my kids used to do their bikes like it was the Indy 500. I thought I had everything. I had been speaking all my life. I was what, 39, 40 maybe. I don't know how old I was. No, that's 2 years ago. So I was 42. I'm like, all right, I'm going into my greatness, you know. I ain't going to no greatness, bro. I lost everything I had, like literally everything I had. And because I lost everything I had, I couldn't keep anything because I didn't have any money to keep anything. I lost my home, a 6-bedroom home in Huntington Valley, sprawling, right? And I lost everything, all my furniture. And what I did was, because of who I am, listen, this is why I say you got to be who you are no matter what happens to you. I'm a giver. I want everybody around me to have. And so as I'm losing my house, I'm like, all right, I need money. I didn't have any money either. I found out you gotta have money to be poor. That sounds crazy, but it's facts. I was losing my home and I realized, wow, I need money to even lose my house. Crazy. Because I had to get rid of all this stuff. So I had to sell. I sold like these 4 TVs. And I called a guy who can come get all this stuff. He said it's going to cost you like $500. I got the money from selling these TVs, right? Now, I'm telling y'all what I was going through emotionally. That's the first time I had like 3 panic attacks. I was losing everything. And you know what? I lost everything. I had a young lady come that was working with the guys who was moving me. She had just bought a house in the hood somewhere. And she was like, oh, can I have? I said, listen, you can have everything. Go ahead. She wound up filling her home out of my home, kitchen, everything. She took everything. House was completely empty. And I'm standing in the middle of the floor like, dang, where I'm going to go? I had a borrowed car at the time. And I went to the Fox Chase Cancer Center. And it's a hospital connected to it. And I slept right there in the parking lot for the next few months, right? I stayed right there, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life, right? It's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. I finally understood in that moment why Mike Tyson said the greatest thing that happened for him when he got knocked out by Buster Douglas. He said, because I didn't have to be nothing no more. I ain't had to be nothing no more. When I lost everything, man, I ain't had to be nothing no more. I ain't had to be nothing. I ain't had to be a renowned speaker. I ain't had to write no more books, even though I wound up writing this. And y'all, this book right here, the one I just showed y'all earlier, Home Where Hurt Men Heal, I wrote this in that car in 2022 when I was homeless. This is why I wrote that book, right? But the best thing that ever happened to me was for me to lose. I didn't have to be anybody's pastor. I ain't had to be nobody's author. I ain't had to be nobody's leader. I could finally sit there and be with myself. It was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. For me to lose a 6-bedroom house and lose every piece of clothes I had. When I left that house, I had one bag. Let me see if it's over here. Yeah, let me show y'all right quick. Hold on. It is right here. See this bag right here? I had this bag right here. I had six pair of underwear. I had like 3 undershirts. I had 1 pair of sneakers. They didn't go in here because they was on my feet. I had 4 pair of shorts and 3 t-shirts, 1 hoodie. And that's what I had as I walked out that house. Right? This is the world-renowned speaker. Had everything and lost everything in a day. I was so grateful. I was so grateful because I finally found me. I was in touch with me. I got in touch with me. I was connected to me at that point. And when I got connected to me, I went home. Home. And guess what, brothers? Home don't have to be a physical place. Most times home is not a physical place. You know what? Most time what home is back to yourself where you can be you unapologetically. That's what home is. Home is when you can connect to you unapologetically, bro. Right? For some of us, home is back with your wife and kids. You might have left your family, man. Yeah, go home. Go home. Go home, bro. Right? But even if you're going to go back to a physical house and a physical family, home is also where your heart is. Who are you? And if you're going to go home to your wife and your kids, take the best you. For some of y'all that's on your way to work, bro, take the best you. And the only way to take the best you anywhere is to strip yourself of the negative things about yourself. Listen, bro, don't make other people tell you about your flaws. You know it. That's why the scripture says you judge yourself, man. Then nobody else got to judge you. Judge yourself. That's manhood. Manhood is when you can step to yourself. That's what manhood is. When you can step to yourself and say, you know what, man, that wasn't right. What you said wasn't right. And I'm going to challenge some of y'all. When was the last time you apologized? When was the last time you apologized to your spouse? Hey, let's go deeper. When was the last time you apologized to your kids? Are we talking about good guys finishing last? Yeah. I want to be a loser. I want to lose the side of me that would say, yo, you don't got to apologize to your kids, fam. If you was wrong, apologize to your babies. Right? It's only ego that makes you look at your wife sitting there hurting, crying. You did it and you don't want to apologize. That's only ego. Right? It's only ego where you want to just be right. Let me tell you something about being right. If you always want to be right, you'll wind up being right all by yourself. Right? I tell women that a lot. I'm going to tell you brothers just the same. There are some people that are convinced I'm right. I got to be right. Okay, be right. And you'll be right by yourself. You won't be able to build any relationships because your goal, you're more interested in being right than being relational. Come on, y'all. You're more interested in being right than being relational. Come on, jump in the chat. Who's in the chat? Let me see. Is anybody leaving anything in the chat? Talk to me. Anybody got any questions? Come on. Any before I go. Anybody got any questions? Put them in the chat. And we will get to that before I get out of here. All right. Yeah, but this is the question. What's your ego costing you, bro? Because ego make you feel good, but what's it costing you? You got any? If you need any advice, put it in the chat. I'll hit your questions before I leave the show. All right. And for some of you new guys coming on, this is the Dear Brother Podcast. I meet every single morning, 6 a.m., Monday to Friday. I do a morning show. I'm going to start doing an evening show on Wednesday nights for men. It's probably starting at 9 o'clock for men on Wednesday night. All right. So y'all get ready for that. Probably next Wednesday I'll launch that. Okay. All right. If you got anything, say it in the chat, and I'm going to get out of here, guys. And I got more recording and stuff to do today. Go to my website, christianwinners.com. Visit my website today, everybody. christianwinners.com. For some of you that need coaching, some of you brothers, some of you sisters that need coaching, I have donation-based coaching on my website right now, christianwinners.com. It's at the bottom of the screen, right? christianwinners.com. But if you got any questions, you can still jump in, right? Jump on in. Let me know. But But go to my website, christianwonders.com. You can go there right now because you can sign up for if you need coaching. As a man, you need coaching on where you're going as an entrepreneur. I worked for myself all my life. You need coaching on advice about your kids, man. I'm in a rough space mentally, emotionally. Reach out right now. Go on christianwonders.com. It's donation based, right? Now, some people will say, man, you crazy for doing donation based, man. We live in a capitalistic society. Well, that's the problem. Everybody wants some money for everything they do. God gave me this gift of wisdom. Well, how do I charge you for it? Right? It's donation based. If I'm a blessing to you, be a blessing to help me. Keep on helping men. Right? Keep on helping men. That's my goal. I also do group coaching for some of you who have church, some of you that have mosques, some of you that have youth groups, right? Some men that have men's organizations, man. You know, I will come. You can go in there. You could book me to come speak to your men. I'm out here, man. I'm out here. I'll come to the trap house. I'll come to the masjid. I'll come to the church, right? I'll come to the corner. My goal is to rescue men from this enemy that's out here. And before I go, I want to say this to y'all. And I don't care who I offend. And all y'all might leave at this point, but this is my channel. Don't get caught up in all this politics. Don't get caught up in all this politics. Don't get caught up on Democrat, Republican. Don't get caught up on all that. Because like I tell y'all all the time, man, every 8 years, they're going to give you another hat to put another name on it. And you know what? We sometimes rep those political names more than we do our own name. You know what hat you need? You need the hat with your last name on it right here. That's the only joint you need to rock. That's the only one you need to invest in right here. I know some of y'all saying, man, this dude is out of my mind. Maybe I am. And guess what? I'll rather be out of my mind and rep what I'm repping. Y'all hear me? Right? I ain't talking Democrat, Republican. I'm talking about the whole clown chaos of the game. Now, y'all do your own research. You do your own research today, and you let me know in the chat. You can do your own research right now. Just Google how much money has been spent on the election. Check that out. Check out how much money has just been spent on the election. The election is just getting someone elected. Let me clue you in. So when you look, you'll see that billions of dollars just to get someone elected. So while we talking about how high eggs are, and we're talking about how high milk is, and we're talking about this, and we're talking about we can barely afford this, and Christmas is coming, and how I'm gonna do this, while you're worried about your financial situation, people have spent billions of dollars just to get someone elected. That's not changing the country. That's not dealing with any issues. That's not dealing with the inner city. That's not dealing with murder. That's not dealing with children. That's not dealing with education. That's not dealing with any of that. That's just getting you in the office. Now, if that same money went to affect change in the community, then we would have a better world. But they're not worried about a better world. They get on TV and tell you that to get your vote. Mm-hmm. You better put your name up here. You better rock your hat. You better put your name right here. Mm-hmm. You know where your vote should be? Your vote should be strengthening your family. Right? And I know some political junkie or somebody would jump in here and say, well, whatever. But guess what? I'm telling you, whatever to you. Because I've been alive long enough to see the first president I remember was Reagan. I was born in 79. I think Carter was before him, but I don't remember Carter. I think I remember Reagan. And what I'm saying is I grew up with a black father and a black mother, and we still had the same problems. Right? And when Reagan had his Reaganomics, that hurt families, right? Yes, it hurt families. And when the next presidents came, they put their thing in it, hurt families, right? And the only people that stayed okay was the people up there that are above the water, above the line, above the poverty line, they're not below the water of poverty and issues. While you trying to figure out how to take care of your kid, and you're trying to send your kid to college, right? And they're arguing about the simplest things. You better put your name up here. And I'm gonna tell you this. In the Garden of Eden, the greatest entity was the family. There was no church in the garden. There was no masjid in the garden. There was no mosque there was no synagogue in the garden. There was a man and his God. And then that God added a family to that man. And there was a family and God in that garden. It was nobody to vote for. It was just a God to stand for. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. I'm talking manhood now. Because you know what? Is everybody getting sucked up? The point is everybody getting sucked up and giving your energy and your wealth to something else instead of yourself. Imagine self-investing. See? Are you still in your lesson, Christian? Yeah. To hear what I'm saying right now, you got to be stripped of ego. Because you know why? You got to be a man before you're a Democrat or Republican. You got to be a man. You got to be a man. I don't want to be the kind of man that's so hooked up on a party that I'm going to vote because my party is more important than my family. I'm not. And most of these people that you see are fanatic over this politics. They find their self-worth in it. When you find your self-worth in you, then I don't need to look at TV. And because I'm a black man, I'm going to throw something in for some of y'all who think I'm talking about Trump or Kamala. I don't care about either one of them. So let's go deeper. When Obama was president, didn't matter, bro. It didn't matter. I still had to take care of my kids. Right? Again, because some people had their esteem was so low. Their esteem was so low that that's the same thing we do in churches and with religions and with celebrities, right? We invest our life into that pastor because of who he is and that politician because who he is and that celebrity because of who they are. Imagine if you invested that much in your children, right? I think Usher came to my city not too long ago, filled up a whole stadium. I wonder how many people have never invested that ticket money in their own child. I wonder how many people took their kid to that concert but never took their kid to tutoring. We got to be stripped of ego because that's what society plays on. Society plays on ego. I got front row tickets, girl. I got the $700 tickets, bro. I got the $1,000 joint. And we're all chasing everything but ourselves and our own success. Oh, man. I know I done caused trouble for myself now, but that's who I am. I'm the trouble starter. Anybody I ever respected in society was a trouble starter. And if truth caused trouble, then I'll be the trouble starter. Because truth is what set people free. All right, y'all. Let me see if anybody in the chat before I go. But I love y'all, man. Thanks for hanging out with me. We did an hour and 21 minutes today. Man, this will be a half-hour show, but we got into it. We got into it today, and I'm really, really grateful that we did. End the show, man. Listen, thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out this morning. Tomorrow's Friday. Happy Friday coming up. All right, so we'll have our Friday show. Remember, next week I'll be going on Wednesday night, so night show for all the men. And if you want to invest in what I'm doing, man, I'm doing everything I'm doing to donation-based counseling men. I'm so glad for all you guys who've been getting in your coaching, man. But that's what we're doing. If you want to invest into what I'm doing, if you believe in what I'm doing, helping men transition, helping men see themselves and healing men all over, you can donate today if you want to. It's not a command, but if you believe in my work with men, lifting up young men and lifting up lives, then you can go on. The Cash App and the Venmo is right at the bottom of the screen. Master Built One. If you believe in my work, man, you know you can help. You can help do it. I'm headed to Nairobi, Kenya, next year, April 2025. I'm headed to Nairobi, Kenya, to be a blessing to men there. I just was in Guyana, in South America. I built a school there. I built a school to stop sex trafficking in Guyana. So I was there just 2 weeks ago. The first time I went, it was for the children to build that school, and I went back just for the men. And so we are building. We are doing our thing, man. So if you believe in what we're doing, invest in what we're doing. Master Built One will help me. I'm also trying to get this book into the prisons, the home where hurt men heal. I'm trying to get this book into prisons, man. So hey man, if you believe in my work, invest. But thank you so much. If my work is blessing you, blessing your family, invest. It'll help me keep on blessing men. All right. I love y'all. Remember, man, you matter today. You matter today. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. And all we have is right now. All right. So live great in it. Do well today. No fear, no shame, no compromise. I love y'all. Have a great day. See y'all tomorrow.